Hello everyone, I am Rohan, a part of the computer vision team at Allskier. Computer vision has enormous real-world applications, ranging from healthcare, agriculture, autonomous driving, and even entertainment systems and services. We at Allskier strive to implement state-of-the-art computer vision techniques and algorithms which have a significant impact when used on our products. One of the most widely used libraries for computer vision is Tensorflow. Today I will be going through the installation of Tensorflow and also how to use Tensorflow in general. So basically, there are two types of installations. The first one is a CPU installation. The second one is a GPU version of TensorFlow. The GPU installation of TensorFlow uses the CUDA cores which are on a GPU. So the first step in doing this is installing Anaconda. Anaconda is an open source toolkit for data science enthusiasts. This is the website for Anaconda, and you can just install it by getting started with it. Once you have installed Anaconda, the next thing to do is install TensorFlow. In order to do so, we have to type this command conda create -n uh, tf TensorFlow. What this does is it creates a CPU installation of TensorFlow, and it also creates a virtual environment, and the name of a virtual environment here is TF. We can choose any name for it, doesn't really have to be TF. If you want to do the GPU installation of TensorFlow, then you will have to change. I mean, that's up to you if you want to change the environment name. You can make it as GPU as well. And here you will have to select TensorFlow as GPU. So for now, I'll just be installing the CPU version of TensorFlow for demonstration purposes. So I'll press enter here. As you can see, it is installing the CPU version of TensorFlow now. Yes, it has these packages. So it has an option of Y or N, yes or no. I'll press Y. Okay. So now as you can see, the installation of the CPU version of TensorFlow has been completed. Here, if I scroll up, we can see that it has extracted and installed all the necessary packages. Next, if you remember correctly, we had made a virtual environment with the name as TF. So in order to activate this environment, the command will be conda activate the name of our environment, which is TF. So now, as you can see, the name base has changed from base to TF here. Next, we will be coding TensorFlow in Jupyter Notebook. For those of you who are not familiar with Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter Notebook is an open source IDE which is widely used to code data science projects. In order to install Jupyter Notebook, you just have to do pip install Jupyter. And another thing to keep in mind is that since this is a virtual environment, whatever you install here will be installed only in this environment. It won't be accessible anywhere outside this environment. So the Jupyter Notebook installation is completed now. And now we have to open the Jupyter Notebook. But to do so, just type Jupyter Notebook. This opens Jupyter Notebook locally. So our next step is to create a new Jupyter Notebook. The kernel has started here. If this is not filled here, the circle, then that means the kernel is not busy. If it is filled, that means the kernel is busy. Next, we will start by importing TensorFlow. We can import TensorFlow as any name. Let's say I want to import it as TF. Shift enter to run the cell. Now it has imported TensorFlow. Next thing I want to do is import Keras. Keras is an API which runs on top of TensorFlow, and it is very powerful due to its performance and scalability. So I will be importing Keras now from TensorFlow. Import Keras. I press Shift Enter. You can see is running instantly. Now Keras has a lot of data sets by default. One of them which I'll be using today is the MNIST dataset. MNIST dataset is a database of 70,000 handwritten digits and is an excellent dataset to use for beginners. So let's say I want to load my MNIST dataset into four variables: xtrain, ytrain, xtest, and ytest. So for that I'll be writing the command as xtrain, ytrain, comma xtest, comma ytest is equal to keras.datasets dot mnist dot load data. This is a function which loads the mnist dataset, the 70,000 images, into these four variables. There are many other datasets included in Keras, and you can check them out through the link which I'll be providing in the description. So if we run this, you can see it's downloading the dataset. Yep, it has finished doing that. And from now on, let's say I want my xtrain.shape. So 60,000 images as training, and it should be 10,000 images as testing if I do it. Yeah, 10,000 images as testing. So this is the distribution, the default distribution of the MNIST dataset. So that was a brief introduction to the installation and usage of TensorFlow for computer vision tasks. We hope you got to learn something from this, and be sure to stay tuned to our YouTube channel for more tutorials.
Hey there, congrats on finishing the basics of your topic. Carry this momentum forward by working on a hands on project based on the topic that you've chosen. Go to the description down below to get a registration link to get our accelerated course PDF. So go on, continue your journey of exponential learning.